My name is Masi Katsime, and you are ready to start your day, or probably you could be on your way, but set yourself ready to start your day. Well, of course, today we're going to have an interesting topic, and of course, like I've been saying, we are going to be talking about women this whole week. And today we're going to be leveraging on women uptake in technology into their businesses. Much as women entrepreneurs own at least 31% of all the registered SMEs, and which contribute to 70% of Uganda's economy, yes, they still face some concerns regarding the digital gender gap. And of course, this is where issues come in with mobile phone ownership. Then there is also a gap in digital literacy and financial inclusion as well. Of course, kickstarting off with the mobile phone ownership, many women actually in Uganda, not so many, but then compared to men, do have less access to mobile phones. And of course, with the upgrade from the analog phones to digital phones, most of them find themselves when they cannot access, even though they access the mobile phones, the smartphones, they do not have a technical know-how on how to operate their day-to-day business and incorporate in technology. Well, of course, women are likely to own mobile phones compared to men, and less likely to own mobile phones compared to men. And of course, according to the UCC, only 44% of women owned phones compared to 62% of men that own phones. So you can imagine that gap between 44 and 62%. But so far, at least the 44% is a higher percentage. At least with time, as we get to sensitize people, as we get to teach people on the importance of incorporating technology into their businesses, it's going to be much easier. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Marcy.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you've been talking about financial technology, and I feel like this is something that women need to understand, that I think technology, belonging to technology, it's this one of the safest places they can actually be into. Of course, taking a look at the number of the fintech companies that we have global, within the country, and about employing about 41% of the women, that is in the various fields. Yeah, because sometimes when we talk about fintech, of course, we are talking about finances and technology, ensuring a safe transfer of funds from one destination to another. And there are quite lots of opportunities where women can actually place themselves. It's not necessarily, because when we talk about fintech, what comes in the mind is that, hey, I need to be a developer, I need to be a programmer. But it's quite a huge space in there that, there are spaces for advocacy, you know, and on top of that, of how women, through digital literacy, they can actually leverage on these technologies and make life easy for them in terms of running day-to-day operations of a business. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But of course, we've seen over time, and of course, when you compare to now mobile money, I should say mobile money, you realize that most women are more involved in the mobile money operations than men.
Yeah, running those businesses.
At least there is a little bit of inclusion right there in the fintech world, and with the mode of education now, people are more learned. At least it gives them space to involve themselves in financial technology. Yeah, because financial technology is a big thing. It cuts across banks and all the like. Yeah, to the point transaction and everything.
Yeah. And of course, taking a look at how women, you've mentioned about mobile money, and this can also be some kind of a way of diversification of, the product portfolio, that it may just go beyond you providing out the mobile money services, but you put out some other services. Like I've seen some other women, when they're running these services, they import other products that they can actually distribute. That if these people come to deposit, withdraw the money, they can actually see that, hey, I have this, and they are able to have this. So before you know it, you find that somebody that has been, a woman that has been earning like about $100 a month is now earning about $200. But why? but through financial technology, he was able to widen the product portfolio, and her delivery actually went way on top in terms of service delivery, and that definitely improves their livelihood.
I like the fact that even on, through technology and of course use of mobile phones, people are able to save. People are able to
Save,
save.
yeah.
There are very many initiatives that have been introduced in different telecommunication companies where it gives them space, to save. For those that find it hard to access banks or microfinance institutions,
Exactly.
they save within on their phones, though it's a bit risky.
In terms of,
Yes, it's a bit risky when you're saving on your phone, just in case they hack into it or probably they steal it. It's unsafe.
and
But it's easier for some people because they can easily withdraw.
transact the money, and also with statistics revealing that when you take a look at these days there are what we call digital wallets, which people have vis-a-vis bank accounts, and people seem to be having more of we call them participating in digital banks, and we know that women are one of the typical people that prefer lots of, can we call them informal ways, not so much of formal. Yesterday we were mentioning something that line, when it comes to finances, dealing with finances, much more vast with that. And I feel like this is one of the ways of easing transaction, because if we have more women involving themselves in the fintech space, and they have these what we call, they're part of the digital banks, I think even when it comes to matters of financial inclusion, there will be sorted the products. It's easy for the financial products to reach them, because we know of the responsibilities that they have. They have to take care of family. They rarely move out probably, and yes, if you can have products that can extend the financial services digitally towards them, then you do them a good service to participate in this country's economy.
Yeah, how about we look at agriculture?
Agriculture?
Yeah, the fact that women also participate in agriculture. Of course, there is also that need to incorporate financial technology. Yeah, and
Yeah, because you take a look at people that are inventing platforms, that deal where farmers can get in touch with the buyers of their product. And now we see in such a scenario that you can incorporate direct transactions through that application, that a farmer, that if I'm a hotel and I want to buy products from a farmer, I may have to just pay directly through the platform, and I get my products delivered, because at the end of the day, I may not be in position to
cost efficient.
it's cost efficient, and also taking a look at the storage costs. You save quite a lot of money, and there are lots of spaces where women can participate when it comes to fintech, and the opportunities are really available. Because despite the fact that women, by the way, when it comes to technology, most of their ideas are humanitarian in nature, because the reason why they think to the depth of something, unlike because technology is only becomes technology when it's transforming human lives, and if it's not transforming human lives, then it's useless. And women have that ethic in terms of having a humanitarian idea. In other words, they are good at inventing ideas that are going to that are tailored, let me say that are tailored to the needs of the society. So even in the agriculture sector, more of this is really actually needed into that. Now, like the fintech side we've mentioned, whereby we can have incorporated transactions, because we can't avoid technology. Same applies to WhatsApp. We've been mentioning yesterday about the financial inclusion gap. For men and women, whereby women seem to be excluded, and that if you're in the rural area, you're excluded, and if you're a woman, you're excluded. So how do? You have to ensure that every business that you do is cost effective in terms of location, because it may be expensive for you to have space, but if you can put your products on your WhatsApp line, integrate accounts whereby people can see these products on WhatsApp and they can buy directly there and you deliver to them, it will save you a lot of money. You're not paying rent to any person, you're only just buying data. So your data is more like, so WhatsApp becomes like your shop, but it's a digital shop, so that is cost friendly, and women need to get to this knowledge, the literacy. How do I incorporate that? I may choose to design my own website, or whereby I can post the products, the money, and people pay direct and I do deliver. All those perspectives. But we can see, actually, I see women participating in fintech as part of the key to bridge that financial inclusion gap. Through technology and the fact that women find challenges in accessing some of the loans due to lack of the necessary collateral. So I may need a loan to pay rent for a shop because I just got a shop. I have to clear 4 months up front, but I don't have that. So the money which I might use for that, if I'm skilled with tech skills, I can sit down, develop my own platform where I can transact with people, and it saves a lot of money.
Of course, we can't rule out the fact that there is also a challenge of limited internet access. I'm talking about people who are in the rural areas.
Yeah.
If alone in the city or municipality, it's a little bit challenging. So imagine a person who is into Undujo, they're down in the village, and they're grappling even to that data is actually for them, it's a bit expensive. And of course it doesn't last for a while. Within a few minutes it's just done, because what they can afford is data for 1,500, 2,000. That is what they can afford for the meantime.
Yeah, but I think government is doing whatever it takes. Yesterday we were mentioning something about how government agencies have cut the data costs by 50%. So this is definitely spreading across, but I think it will need to have there will have to be more involvement of a UCC, for example, a regulatory body, to see that these telecommunication companies don't exploit when it comes to the data charges, fair and friendly packages. Because if we are talking about the digital inclusion, we can't talk about digital inclusion and we rule out there the aspect of accessing internet, cheap internet at a friendly cost. So subsidization is really key here. So the regulatory body has to do is to avoid these telecommunication companies enjoying monopoly power at the expense of Ugandans' well-being.
Yes, well, that brings us to the end of our first discussion in line with leveraging financial technology with women into their businesses. How are you using technology to push your business to the next level? Well, let's get to see what is happening to the press. Jailing, finding drunkards, and of course here NRM says they are ready for dialogue on electoral reforms as experts renew debate on MPs electing president. Well, of course that has been a discussion. We know whether the members of parliament will decide for the people.
For the people.
Well, in that I don't think Ugandans will agree, but then. Because the highest number is in the certain category.
I mean,
so whether they like it or not,
it's quite tricky. Something that is historical in the politics of Uganda, East Africa, and the world.
People have to go and draw polls.
Absolutely. Well, now, as we go through the Daily Monitor, seeing RGG opens a probe into Parliament that is over graft. And of course, seeing here that the shock investigation of corruption into the August House comes at a time when sources say that the Financial Intelligence Authority is also conducting a thorough and much quieter investigation, reportedly looking into allegations of money laundering. Yeah, so when you grab yourself a copy of the Daily Monitor, you'll get to find out more of that. And now I was seeing here about government plans to extend electricity to about 4.5 million people. So when you see, when you grab the copy, you'll be able to find out what is transpiring.
Well, of course, here the Speaker of Parliament, that is Anita Mong, asked people to embrace digital technology to advance democracy.
Digital technology.
Yeah, digital technology is quite interesting now that we are shifting. We are getting too much into digitalization, so people have to be aware. People have to up their game and learn. It's okay to learn.
Exactly.
It's okay to learn. And of course, can Chagulanyi Mpuga out of a Parliament Commission? Well, of course, a lot of controversies regarding this whole former leader of opposition and the money that
Corruption and all that.
Yeah.
Well, let's see where this really takes us. And of course, taking a look here at the medical workers, wasting blood, says the health expert. And now the question is, experts say that transfusion should be in exceptional, it should be in exceptional circumstances to curb the wastage of blood.
Transfusion.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
everyone has to be. Not everyone has to have that.
I mean, it shouldn't be just because
When you have less
they are
blood
yeah. You know,
unless you're critical, very critical.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tests have to be conducted. You need to know what kind of blood are you transferring to, to somebody else. You know,
Yes, unnecessary, transfusion of blood.
unnecessary transfusion
Just
of blood.
because you have, less counts of blood,
Yeah.
that transfusion, it doesn't. You can take tablets. You can take to bring back
Exactly, to
unless
get
you're
back.
at a lower point. Maybe people. It should be for people that are involved in accidents, people that are on
Emergency situations.
because we do not have by the blood in the blood banks. Quite less. People are not willing actually to donate. People are not willing to.
Maybe with time people will be paid to do that.
Yeah.
It'll become like how people transact the internal organs for money. Yeah, blood is the thing. Because here the report says that the Ministry of Health says that an average over 320,000 units of blood are collected are collected every year. Yet the country requires about 450,000 units annually. So we only connect 320. So that's a deficit of about 100 and something that way. Now, schools uncertain on new O-level curriculum. Yes, as final exams near.
Well.
Yeah, of course, with the first group of candidates here under the seat for this curriculum set to sit their final exams this October, many have expressed confusion of how this is going to work out. All right, I guess at this particular point in time, let's switch and take a look at what's happening into the world of traffic. And now, of course, those images are coming in from Access Road. Access Road, which links up with the straight with the Ginger Road. It's Wednesday morning, and it's been quite a rainy night, so the road's a little bit slippery. And Wednesdays are more of when the situation starts to calm down a bit around the entire city. Because of the probably reduction of the pressure, the tension, the work tension, as compared to other days. But of course, seeing vehicles that are coming in from Kampala Road, crossing over to Ginger Road, held back a bit, in that perspective, before they are set to proceed into other areas. But it's always much more better you can use the Nile Avenue route. Yes, you can use the Nile Avenue route and proceed through to Garden City, and then you will be able to continue to Ginger Road. With ease, and you don't have to spend some number of minutes there, because what I know is that the time of being held there is quite a lot. By the way, you'll have to be really patient for quite some good time. For that to be. So seeing vehicles coming in are still from Ginger Road heading towards Yusuf Lule route, and there are quite many actually, because majority are coming in from Port Bell Road, or I mean the old Port Bell Road, which links up with areas like Luzira, Bugolovi, and many more, accompanied with those that are coming in from Ginger Road, coming in from areas like Nakawa, Aboyegere, Chireka, Banda, and lots of that. So when those two come and link up to the Airtel roundabout side there, it can't really be a congested morning in that line. So that's why you see quite a fleet of them crossing over, heading to other destinations. Now, briefly, if we can also switch to the access roads, of course, linking all the way to the industrial area, talking about 6th Street, 7th Street, the 8th Street, and so many more, you can clearly see quite some vehicles. And of course, speaking of people that are coming in from Chibuli side still, Kansanga, Kabanagala side, and you're planning to probably come to the city center, that could be an option. You have two options. You can either use the clock tower, or you come to the Ginger Road traffic lights, and then you proceed. And like for those that are maybe heading towards Wandegear or from that side, and you're pushing towards Mulago, yeah, that's what really makes you leaves you with no choice, and you have to just proceed. Yeah. Now seeing vehicles that have been in Kampala Road just set free, but it's been a while. It's been a long time. About 7 minutes of delay in that. Yes, 7 minutes of delay. And as the day goes on, later on, of course, we shall be expecting quite much more congestion. I'm seeing a number and quite so many pedestrians, and students, pupils crossing the road heading to, there are different schools. So that gives us a picture. But there is a lot of vehicles actually. So for those that are coming in from Kampala and you're heading towards areas along Ginger Road, well, you'll have to be really patient. It's quite huge. And for those that are coming in from Ginger Road, areas along there, and you're coming to Kampala or any other destinations close to that, you'll also have to be quite patient. And those using the Port Bell Road, the residents of Ziramutungo, Bugolovi, and so many of that, you'll also have to be patient. Yes, we are talking about 5 to 7 minutes of patience before you do anything else. Well, that is it for the traffic updates this morning. Exactly 25 minutes past 7. Smart Means Business takes a short break, and definitely when we return, we shall be taking a look at what is happening in Caribbean, South Africa, and definitely their international updates.